Hi everyone! Seeing Luigi today, finally, after 20 months. So, totoo lang excited ako. I just can't fully express it here because I had a bad night of sleep. I just look forward to today, spending time with him today, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. He wasn't kidding when he said he had long hair. So, right here next to me for the first time in a very long time, makikita niyo siya dito sa vlog ko, si Luigi.
Do you want me to say hi?
Wala, just tell a bit about yourself before I get on to questioning you.
Well, the last time I was here was Jan 2020, so it's been 20 months.
Here in the Philippines.
Yep, yeah. I'm back.
Yeah, so actually today parang more of chikahan lang naman siya. Interviewin ko lang naman si Luigi on how his quarantine experience went. As far as, you know, since the pandemic started, siya ang pinaka, how do you say it, like close contact or close family member or loved one that came from overseas tas umuwi dito sa Pilipinas. So,
what?
Start off with booking your flight. Na ano ka ba? Nahirapan ka ba?
Well, hindi naman. It's more of like finding the perfect one. Kasi, syempre, the schedules are still there. So, they're still the same schedules as they were before COVID. But booking them wasn't that hard.
Okay.
Siguro, just finding that seat kasi, syempre, you want to be, you know, not
safe.
where everyone is.
Yeah. Okay. Pero, ano kasi, you used to fly kasi na may mga stopovers, diba? Pero bakit mo naisip na mag-straight flight from New York to here?
Mas safe siya. Kasi syempre, the more you stop over somewhere, the more risk, you know, the more contact that you have with other people.
Okay.
So mas maganda kung straight flight.
Okay. Alright. So, ang next kong question is, how was the entire experience since you flew Philippine Airlines, the straight 16-hour flight from New York to here? Tama ba?
I think 17 nga kasi we were delayed.
Oh, okay. Pero like, airtime-wise, mga ilang oras yun?
16, let's say around 16, average 16.
16, okay. Walk through it with me from the time na dumating ka sa JFK till you got inside the plane. How did it go?
Okay naman siya. Probably the only difference is syempre mas strict sila. You have to wear a mask. Checking in, same thing. Check in with the mask. Biggest change syempre is when you get the plane kasi instead of like yung usual stewardesses or stewards that you see, lahat sila nakabalot na parang suit yan, naka-PPE sila. So it's definitely a shock kasi you're used to this one thing and now it's different. But they keep it safe. So they guide you on what the rules are na habang nandun sa flight, bawal tanggalin yung mask except pag kumakain ka. That wasn't too hard naman, kahit 16-17 hours siya. Yung mahirap na siguro pag natutulog ka. Kasi, syempre pag tulog ka, hindi mo alam kung paano yung galaw mo. Minsan natatanggal yung mask, minsan you accidentally pull it off.
Subconsciously, yeah. Okay.
So, syempre, it's all about adjusting. And syempre, nagigising ka once you realize na, uy, wait, where's my mask?
Right.
Scramble to find it.
Okay.
So, the experience, gano'n naman siya. It's the same. Nakapanibago lang.
Basta yung sanitation, like, inside the plane? Kasi
not that I can remember, although they do make a good job of making sure every surface is clean.
That's good.
So, you know, when they give you, you know, the food, the things that you need, talagang they make sure it's safe, they make sure that they're sterilized.
Okay.
But then, binibigyan ka nga ng I think, either alcohol or wipes, just to make sure that your area is safe.
That's good. How was the parang social distancing sa section mo? And nasilip mo na rin yung kabila?
Hindi ko nasilip yung kabila eh.
Okay.
But yung section namin, it's fine naman. People were very compliant naman with the regulations. So that's good. So
saan yun? Parang one seat apart kayo doon sa ano or... one seat apart talaga kayo?
Well, ish. I think
may katabi ka?
Parang accidentally na one seat apart siya kasi hindi full yung plane eh.
Okay. So, may ano siguro sila, minimum and maximum capacity.
Maybe. I can't tell whether it's that or talagang wala walang lumilipad.
Right. Usapan naman natin ang touchdown. So, during the old normal at least, syempre ang mga ipapagawa ng mga flight steward sa'yo is arrival cards, stuff like that, right? So, did they ask you in particular to fill up some stuff, like health declaration form or whatever prior to touching down? Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. Before you touch down, they have to make sure that, well, one, you're fit to fly. Two is that you have a quarantine location with yung mga
Hotel. Accredited ones.
Yeah, accredited hotels. And three, whether or not you have paid for a test, for a PCR test during your quarantine. So, once you touch down, check nila yung mga yun. So, instead of like yung immigration or arrival cards, you shuffle through the different booths just to make sure that those three things are fulfilled. Kung hindi, you have to do it on the spot, which is a bit harder. So, recommendation I guess you do it before flying.
Okay. So, since you mentioned before flying, does that mean na nung nasa States ka palang binayaran mo nila lahat? RT-PCR?
Well, yung PCR, I paid for it doon mismo sa airport, sa NAIA. Although yung, syempre, booking the hotel and booking the PCR, I did it in New York.
So I guess your tip talaga is do everything in advance as much as possible, just so that you don't waste any time when you touch down here. Plus, you don't risk your exposure to people who are scrambling the same way, who are preparing it din, Okay.
Kasi when I was there, hindi lahat naka-prepare. So, nung turn ko, biglang I sped through the entire line because I had everything done.
Dito sa Philippines, mandatory ang face shields. Like, for those coming to the Philippines, kailangan ba may baon ka ng face shield? Paano sa mga wala?
I'm not sure kung if they provide face shields, pero definitely required siya. So, paglapag parang sa NAIA, once you get out of the plane, dapat nakasuot na yung
face shield mo.
Sometimes they tell you to take it off, but that's for yung parang immigration, just to check if you are who you are.
Okay.
But yeah, dapat naka-face shield ka na. Something that I noticed sa NAIA is the baggage carousels. So, hindi na tulad dati that, you have to wait for the baggage to go around, tapos pipikapin mo. Ginawa nila for you. So, may mga
nakababa na?
Nakababa na silang lahat. So, nakapila sila doon, you just have to find your luggage. Kunin mo na. Wala nang carousel.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay.
So, maybe they did it for safety. Kasi syempre, instead of nakapulong lahat dun sa nakahintay.
Kasi crowd yun
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. I forgot to ask you pala prior. Did you require PCR from the States before entering the Philippines?
No need.
Okay.
So, when you get here,
okay.
I think baliktad pag when you fly to the US na dapat naka-PCR ka na before you fly.
Yes. That's correct as far as I know. Paano yung mga vaccinated? Because you're fully vaccinated. You had your jabs last April and May. Tama? There, like, doon sa requirements ba ng pagdating mo dito sa Philippines that you need to be vaccinated or through the immigration, or is that like an advantage, or how is it like?
It definitely is an advantage, most especially for safety. But another advantage that I can think of is minsan mababawasan yung quarantine period mo if you're vaccinated. Ako, since the US isn't a green country, I had to go the full 14 days. But if you are vaccinated and it's important
green country ka
and green country ka galing, I think i-extend siya to like 7 days.
Okay. Pero yung itong 14 days mo is 10 days in the hotel plus 4 at home. Now that we're talking about quarantine, let's go to your experience in Seda. So you mentioned that noon pa lang, nung nasa States ka pa lang, you have to have booked na your accredited quarantine facility na, no? What made you think of Seda? Bakit sa Seda mo ginusto?
One, for location, kasi malapit ang bahay ko sa Seda. There are a lot sprinkled throughout Metro Manila, pero syempre, you want the nearest one to your house, and two, that one that's comfortable for both you and your budget. Since
you booked at Seda in Quezon City, how did you head towards your hotel? Meron ba silang shuttle or like a vehicle, or did you have to pay anything extra, or hindi na, or kasama na siya sa package mo?
You have to let the hotel know. Sometimes they do have a shuttle, sometimes they don't. Seda did. Additional bayad siya, pero syempre the driver keeps it safe, and kampante ka naman that when from the airport to the hotel, you're not under any risk compared to the public transport. I think yung allowed lang is one, transportation from the hotel or parang shuttle from the airport mismo.
Pagdating mo ng SEDA, how did it go? Like, pinadiretso ka na ng room, or how did like the check-in progress go?
Same as any check-in, except dun din may mga waiver kang kailangan pirmahan that you are fit, and that parang may sign up ka na, you have to sign something that yes, I am undergoing my quarantine at this specific hotel for this amount of days, and that I am taking a PCR test on this day. So
parang waiver.
Just preparing that sort of
okay.
That sort of paperwork. Check-in is the same. Tapos they usher you towards your room. Walang contact with anyone else except siguro yung luggage handler.
Bellboy, yeah. The bellboy. Okay.
Experience itself was okay naman. I didn't get that cabin fever because from anticipate ko na nandun ako for
at least 10 days.
Yeah, at least 10 days or 2 weeks. So definitely dapat magdala ka ng mapapalipas oras, books, your laptop. I brought my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of things to do. Not really. I wasn't really bored. Okay naman siya. SEDA even gave me a free upgrade, a room upgrade.
That's good.
So instead of the deluxe room, which is I think 36 square meters per square feet, they gave me like the corner suite, which is like 72.
Wow, that's big for a solo traveler, diba?
Yeah.
Yeah. Paano yung meals mo?
In front of our doors, may naka-position na upuan. That's where they drop off the food. Every 6 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m.
3 times a day.
Clockwork yun. Sometimes nag-iiba, pero once they drop it off, they ring the doorbell. And ikaw na bahala kung kailan mo pick up in. It's always there. They're not gonna bug you if you would pick up in on time. Basta nandun siya. From check-in mismo, they ask you if you have any food allergies, so they can take that into account. So, SEDA, at least, is very flexible with the food requirements. And balanced meal siya naman every single day. So, every meal has either fruit or veggies, may meat, may kanin, and may dessert. Talagang, pampers.
So, it looks like that you had a pleasant stay in SEDA. So, pleasant naman yung quarantine mo.
Yep.
Okay, so ito na. Since you've never had a swab or antigen test ever in your life until you got home dito sa Philippines, how was your experience and pang ilang araw mo nung nagpa-ano ka? RT-PCR ka?
I think it was my 7th day. Tapos you get the results on your 10th day or 9th day. Then you're free to go 10th day. From my experience, okay naman siya. A lot of people were telling me na nakakilabot siya or masakit siya or very unsettling. Not in my case, at least. Nakiliti lang, yun lang.
They do one RT-PCR sa'yo or dalawa?
For my case, they requested 2. Once a throat, once a nose. And they do it twice, just to be sure. So I got swabbed for a total of 4 times.
Oh, wow! Okay. Alright, so that's 4 specimens. Would you recall how much that was?
It's around 4,000 pesos.
Like ano na siya, fix na siya na ganun nga yung RT-PCR, yung throat tsaka sa nose.
Yeah,
fix na siya.
I think so, yes.
Na ganun 4,000. Okay. How was it like when you got picked up na? That was, I believe, your 10th day, tama ba? Since your results showed that you were negative. So, how was the checkout process like?
Very rigorous. Hindi siya yung parang just go down and check out. First of all, they have to make sure that nandun yung sundo mo. Whether it's shuttle from them, from your local LGU, or a private vehicle. Dapat nandun na. So, hindi ka pwedeng alis basta-basta.
So, your case, it was a private vehicle. It was your mom diba who picked you up? Okay.
I think ganun siya if you're doing the 10+4. If 14, they might not be as strict. But since I was still undergoing yung home quarantine, dapat nandun na yung sundo ko mismo. And my mom who fetched me, she had to sign a waiver that she was the one who picked me up.
Pick you up.
Tapos once she's there, once their sundo is there, they call you from your room, doon ka na bababa.
Para talagang less exposure, no? If there's something that you appreciated the most during your quarantine stay inside the QC, what is it?
I think it definitely advantage siya that they were really taking care of their guests kahit naka-quarantine. Yung set meals every day, they make sure that, you know, they're on top of things that might be happening in your room. I don't have any issue with my room, pero sabi nila, if something happens, just call them. And they make sure that things are safe. Lahat sila safe doon. Same thing with yung sa stewardesses na lahat sila naka-PPE, even yung mga guard. So, talagang safe ka, kampante ka. Even when you go in, you have to go through like a temperature check, you have to sanitize. So, talagang safe ka.
Safe. Oh, that's good. I'm really happy to hear that.
It's a good combination of safety and convenience for the traveler.
Before we wrap up this video, I wanted to ask you, what tips would you recommend for those flying home here to the Philippines?
A lot of research and preparation. So before you even step foot in the airport, dapat alam mo na yung mga kailangan mong gawin. Kailangan mong pirmahan, things that you need to print. Actually, not even the print, just things that you need to sign. Kasi I had something printed, and when I got there, they had things ready. But you know, just the confidence and the comfort that you have the things that you need. You know, it gives you a lot more security that you're traveling worry-free. And that includes preparing for the quarantine kasi syempre wala kang kasama doon.
Yeah.
Siguro if you're traveling with someone, may kasama ka, but
Ikaw,
for the most
mag-isa
part,
ka.
I'm solo. So, nakaprepare ako that I have things that I can do, I have things I can work on, things to pass the time. Definitely a lot of research and preparation.
That's my stellar guest, guys. Thank you, Love, for joining me today. Is there anything you wanna tell anyone else here on my vlog today? Are you gonna like plug, or he's a journalist, guys, so you can read up his work. But is there anything you wanna say else aside from
like, follow, subscribe to this vlog?
Ayan, so sana may natutunan kayo dito sa aking sit down vlog, and welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. I feel home.